This is Tim Santoni and welcome to Background Checks Demystified. Today we want to talk about compliance and why compliance plays such a vital role in the background screening process. Stay tuned. So compliance is a scary word, but in essence, when it comes to background screening, compliance means that your practices as it relates to screening applicants is in compliance with state and federal law. Typically, the FCRA, or the Fair Credit Reporting Act, is the compliance level to follow. If you're in a state like California, you want to follow the other state rules, and you want to work with a background screening company that understands the adjudication and compliance rules that vary state by state, or whether your state would apply to federal rules. When it comes to lawsuits being filed by applicant attorneys against employers and background screening companies, large majority of those lawsuits have to do with the application and disclosure process and improper forms that are being used. This means that just by simply using compliant forms, whether they're paper forms or an electronic application and disclosure forms, will eliminate applicant attorneys from going after you simply based on how you obtain authorization from the applicant. You also want to make sure you store and have a track record on how that was done. You want to make sure that the applicant gets a consumer copy. Anytime that an applicant questions a record on a background screening report, a reinvestigation should be completed and done in a timely manner, and a consumer report should be reissued if there's any changes or if there are not. You want to make sure you're using pre-adverse and adverse action letters when you're looking to use information that's obtained in a background report as information that would be an obstacle for hiring in your business. So when it comes to compliance, there's many facets. How you get the applicant to authorize, how they disclose, the process in which you report records, adjudication, if you will, the pre-adverse and adverse action process, the consumer copy that the applicant gets, and any reinvestigations. So these are things you want to talk about and learn about so that you understand why compliance is so important in your background screening process, and you can manage against those rules to ensure that you're not going to get sued as an employer for unlawful practices as it relates to compliance. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. If you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up. We look forward to connecting with you in the comments. Thanks.